Okay, girls, I'm sure you have all heard horror stories about what it's like to go into business with a friend, right? We're about to do a deep dive into how Kristi and I navigate business, friendship, and what the future looks like for us. You girls ready? Let's dive in.
You're listening to the Girl Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast, where we invite you to check your ego at the app, grab a cup of coffee, and get ready to dive into all things real estate marketing, social media, friendship, hardship, love, money mindset, and all the things that celebrate you as a badass boss babe.
We're here to encourage you, show up for you, give you a loving kick in the pants when you need it most, and be your soft place to land on the hardest of days. So pull up a seat at our table and get ready to be inspired and start living your best life by design.
Welcome to the Girl Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast. We are so excited you're here.
Okay, girls, let's dive in.
Okay, how's it going, Beth?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm, sleep deprived, but pretty good. Woo-woo, welcome to my life. How was vacation? You have this amazing glow and happiness to you, and I want to squeeze it.
Well, my suntan is wearing off.
I don't think so.
I'm loaded with bronzer today, trying to get the glow of the islands to stick with me for another week.
You fooled me.
Oh man, it was the vacation that my soul needed. I haven't had a vacation like that since February of 2019.
Okay.
No, February of 2020?
2020.
February of 2020. Yes.
Yeah.
See, my brain is like mush because I lost all concept of time last year.
Mm-hmm. That's the last time we took one, Beth, January 2020. That really felt
Yeah,
good.
I mean, taking that tropical, actual vacation where you can just sit and relax. I work. I'm a realtor. You right? You go on vacation. I always have my computer with me. A little bit of work every morning, and would check emails later in the day. But to be able to really just sit at the beach and read a book and have painkillers are one of the big awesome cocktails in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Tell me about painkillers.
So think pina colada-ish.
Okay, I'm sold. I'm sold right there.
Fresh nutmeg on top.
Oh, yum.
Okay, sign me up. Every single ingredient in it, I'm like,
do you have
I'm
some
here
here?
for.
Can we make one right now?
No, but we could do that sometime.
Could we?
And there was
Mark
another
to the
drink.
Store?
Put the lime in the coconut. And there was fresh grated lime, mixed in or blended in it.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Well, Mark drank his way with painkillers throughout the island. He said, "I'm gonna have one at every place we go to, so then I can figure out." We did that with fish and chips in London, so it's kind of our weird vacation thing that we do. So then at the end of the week, we're like, "Mark, what was your favorite painkiller?" And he knew exactly which one was his favorite from the island.
Oh, I love it. Mark could have a travel blog.
He should. He would put a fun spin on it. But no, it was a great way to just recharge my batteries.
Yeah.
And then now I'm back at it this week.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
thanks for asking.
What did you learn while you were there?
Well, as you know, but probably a lot of people listening to the podcast don't know, our main goal when we're traveling to warm weather destinations, the question we always ask ourselves is, could we envision ourselves living here? Because we're really we're on research and development, trying to figure out where we're gonna have a place to retire down the road.
Okay.
Florida's on the short list, but could it be more tropical and more sexy, I guess?
Yeah.
So St. Croix made the short list.
Nice.
It's
really
amazing.
Ooh, that gives me goosebumps.
It's amazing. The food scene is amazing. Chefs all over. Beautiful, 85 and sunny every day.
Okay, I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
How many bug bites do you have?
I only got, so I got eaten alive in Puerto Rico. So that Puerto Rico got taken off the list. I think I have a total of 5. Oh. And 3 of them came from one night when I forgot to put bug spray on.
That's really good.
winning.
We are both mosquito magnets.
Oh, I
You
don't
are
even
like,
know
I've
why.
never
It's so
met
obnoxious.
someone else that's such a mosquito magnet. And
it's a real thing.
It's a real thing. It is really hard.
I had to go get shots when we were in Puerto Rico. I got bitten so bad. I had to go to the emergency room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So no, this was not the case this time, and that was part of like I could actually just like. It was amazing.
I'm like envisioning being there drinking a painkiller, and it sounds amazing.
Yep. You can do that and come stay on my balcony, and we can just drink pina coladas.
Yeah, if you could just get that property sooner than later, that'd be super ideal.
I'll get working on that.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
Well, what are we talking about today with this actual podcast? This
goodness.
isn't a vacation podcast.
Can it
We'll
be?
do that. Well, a travel podcast. We'll do that at another date.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Well, we're going to talk all things friendship, how we navigate business as friends, and maybe drop some truth bombs of, guess what? We're actually friends. And
we are.
How we've
not
made
fake
it,
friends.
How we've made it. I mean, what are we 18 months in about now? What, 18 months in to
we're
working together?
13 years into a friendship and if someone new to the podcast, they're like, oh, wow, yay
still
you.
like
You've
each
been
other.
friends for 18 whole months. You know, we've been friends
Even
for
a marriage can survive 18 months.
some days I wonder. No, kidding, Mark. We're just joking. So friends for 13 years, but we've been working together for 18 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to chat all about that. And I'm excited. I'm excited to dive in.
Me too. One of the first little bumps in our working relationship was you and I have completely different working styles.
We do. So let's pause and back up just a tiny bit. Because we
Am I getting ahead of myself again?
Well, we dive into I'm just
it's happened before.
Still in vacation mode. We dive into on episode 1 and 2 a little bit or kind of a lot about
pretty deep
our working relationship and sort of
and our friendship
and how we got here.
Yep.
So you can go check that out if you haven't already, and see what you think. And we talk a lot about business too and how we've made this work.
Right.
But yeah, one of our initial conflicts was work styles, just like you said.
Oh yeah. How do you work, Kristi? Tell us a little bit about that.
So, okay, I like to get shit done and work ahead and have a plan. I'm totally willing to be flexible, and being a mama has made me even more flexible. But I like to have stuff done early, have a plan, because there's just so many curveballs that can get thrown at you. And my time, I value my time so much with my family. And so I've really structured it out. And so when stuff doesn't come in on time or there's delays, it's a little challenging for me.
Yeah. And I am a self-proclaimed procrastinator. I procrastinate with everything. Every single deadline in my life, personally and professionally, my go-to MO has been procrastination. But I used to feel super, super guilty about it. Mm-hmm. In one of Jen Sincero books, what's
up, Jen? We're talking about you again.
Oh my God, we love her. We love her so much. One of her books said, if you're gonna procrastinate, so generally the life cycle of a procrastinator is you procrastinate on a deadline, but then you feel guilty about it for the whole time that you're procrastinating, and then you scramble at the 11th hour to get it done.
See, that sounds horrible to me. It's just panic mode for me.
Right. Yeah. So I lived in that space for a long time, and I don't know why I didn't get out of it. But how Jen Sincero talks about it in one of her books is she said, if you know that this is your personality style, plan for the procrastination. So if you know you're gonna F around and wait until the last minute to get it done, go out and live your freaking best life, and then at the 11th hour, when you know you have to buckle down, get shit done and get it done at the 11th hour. And my in-laws, they say, you do leave things to the last minute, and somehow you always get it done. So yeah, I know that this isn't the style that works with most people. And
I actually think a lot of people are procrastinators, probably.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably equal, right? And there's other things too, but there's so many good things about it too. Being able to work under that kind of pressure. Really.
Okay.
Self-inflicted pressure.
It's self-inflicted, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm trying to that, but I feel like it caused a little bit of tension with you and I early on because they are so diabolically different.
They are.
And you and I had to really have a lot of conversation about that, like, and not always like fun conversation. You know, like, hey, there's deadlines. We are running a business here. You know, like, we need to do this so it feels good for everybody.
Yeah, so we really, and we've been friends for a while, so like we knew certain things about each other, right? But working together is totally different, right?
Yeah.
There's different expectations. So we've really figured out a way, and we did this early on, to compromise and to like have those conversations. Well, I think one of the most important things that we have learned and we've done and executed fully is having an open line of communication, transparency, and mutual respect for one another. It's been huge, and I think that's what's keeping us going.
Well, and the conversation usually starts with, I'm going to have a hard conversation right now.
Yeah,
then you sort of brace yourself for it, and then we have the conversation, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And I think the first few that we had were way more like, it was like usually more me being emotional, and now it's like, nope. Yeah.
So I think too, in the beginning, like I love you, I'm your, like, we're friends, like we know this, but until you start working together and until you feel really secure in that, it's like, is there anything else to this, right? When it's like, no, really, we're just having this transparent conversation. And so now that we've had many conversations, like all of our business discussions, not just like if there's a quote unquote problem, which, you know, they're always very transparent and open. And there's always room for both of us to communicate. That now it especially feels so safe.
Well, and they're not as hard to have as they were back in the day.
Most.
Right.
Most,
no,
yeah.
But
they're not. They're not at all. Because I'm not like, if I need to bring something up to you, I'm not like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? Like, am I going to upset her or whatever? And, you know, I still sometimes would think that, but I know it's a safe place to go chat, to really go talk about something. And we both, like, again, mutual respect. Like, I know, Beth knows I'm going to show up and like totally there for her, like, open, honest. I know she's going to do the same for me. So I really think once you eliminate all that other crap, it's just safe and secure. And you can do it.
We also joked about, like, we're not going to have hard conversation and say, F this, I'm out of here. Like, I hate you. Yeah, we are not going to be best friends anymore. Like, that's like 8th grade. Like, we're not, like, we are grown ass women, like, you run businesses, I've run businesses. Now we're doing this collaboration together. Yes. Like, that option isn't, that's not even an option. It's not even
an option. Like, it doesn't even cross. Like, I've never thought, I am done. I'm just done with this. Like, and if it has ever crossed my mind, which I cannot recall it crossing my mind, like, are you just having like a really shitty day, Kristi? Because clearly, no, like, there's so much more than that. So we really have those regular conversations on topics. You know, we hold each other accountable too, which is another really important thing. And that can cause friction in itself. But when you show up transparent, honest, like really having each other's best interests at heart, respecting each other, you can have these conversations. Like, this is like relationship stuff. Like, if all marriages operated like this, the divorce rate would be very low.
Oh, heck of a lot lower than it is now.
It'd be very low.
Yeah.
So something I think
we're also evolving.
We're evolving, and we're constantly doing like inner work, self-work, which is huge, because honestly, most of the problems are kind of within you. It actually has nothing to do with your partner, your friend, your business associate. It's really the inside stuff and like how you're managing to deal with that and deal with conflict and that sort of thing. So I would love to touch on something that I really think is unique about how we operate, and something that
is what?
And something that I have been taught, you know, in my younger years and through business, that you don't do. And that is, we operate in this like gray area 95% of the time.
Yeah. So
when I say gray area, it's kind of like that, like in between where things like aren't black and white. So just to go back a little bit, is I've learned, and I think a lot of us are told, like business and friendship, they need to be separate, or there needs to be like really, really structured boundaries, or the tasks have to be delegated just perfectly, and otherwise you're gonna fall and you're gonna have all these problems and that sort of thing. And I'm calling bullshit on it.
We don't operate things that way.
We don't operate that way. It's like, and I really think once you have that respect down, you respect each other's lives, you respect each other's time, you respect each other's like creative energy and what you bring to the table. 1 week Beth can say, I need some grace with this, and I'm not going to get mad. Or the next week I can say, Beth, can you tackle this? It's not like I always tackle this and Beth always tackles this. And like, so we really operate in this like, I guess gray area is what I'm thinking to call it. And also with family and like our lives, like we both live very different lives, and we respect each other.
They couldn't be more
different. And so we really respect each other on, I think a different level than maybe a lot of friendships. Yeah. I think it's unique. And
the lines are blurred, that the business and friendship line, and that might not work for everybody. It works really great for us though.
It works really great. And I think when you are just operating in this different space, for us, it's worked incredibly well. Yeah. So I'm calling BS on that, because it's not what works for us.
No,
not at all.
It's certainly not. It's not a black and white thing.
No, and there's so much more beauty in our working relationship because the lines are blurred. And again, it makes us have more respect for one another, which I think is so cool. Like we jokingly say like this is a family business, but it truly is. Like Ryan's, helping us run the podcast. Like Mark's on toddler duty sometimes. They're both like supporting us and making this happen. Kaya's popping in whenever. And like we're showing up for each other as on a friendship level and on a business level. And it's just like, it's so cool. So.
Yeah. And I would say the fact that you and I are both really dedicated, and it's super important for us to both be like doing work on ourselves.
Yes.
Like as business owners, but also as individuals.
Yes.
It's not like, I learned everything and now I just showed up and I'm all woke and I'm like going to be the best friend there ever was. I think everything in life, if the minute in my opinion, I'm dead when I stop evolving.
Oh yeah, for sure. Stop learning, stop like wanting to learn. Like,
wanting
what are you
doing?
doing?
A better version of yourselves.
Yeah,
and I think that's why our friendship works really well, is that you and I we look relatively similar to what we did 13 years ago when we met, but like the insides of us, like we both have done so much inner work to just become better human beings.
Yeah, if we were tackling this, Beth, like 15 years ago,
it wouldn't have worked.
Nope, done. Ryan and I joke, my husband. So we joke that if we would have been married even 2 years before that, it'd have been a done deal. So like also like timing in life and like where you're at, it's so huge. So we are in this unique spot, and I mean, you might be finding that you're in a unique spot too. So we're kind of just want to share that like you can do stuff a little differently too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think so much about what our friendship is about, what our friendship entails, is how much mutual respect you and I have for one another. I want good things for you.
I want good things for you.
Thank you. We want to be on this journey together. I think if you have people that are in business together where it's not equally aligned as to the motivation, I think that's where the teeter-totter gets really offset. So
that's a really good way of bringing that up, Beth. Really, because if you're one of you's just super motivated by money, or which you can be motivated by money. We both are motivated by money. But like if one of you is just going down that road, and then the next one is like, but I'm motivated because like it actually fills me up in a different way. Right. Like that can be off.
Yeah, I feel like we are super aligned on that. And we actually both love and want to be doing this work that we're doing.
We want to. Like, we actually want to. Like, we have created this. Like, we've created a business that really fulfills us and fulfills our clients. And it's work that we genuinely want to do. And we want to do it together. I don't think
everybody can say that.
I don't think so. So. And it's really, really special. So, and honestly, I can't imagine doing this with anyone else.
I don't think it would work with a lot of other people. I dare you. Go try it.
All right, I will. There's the conflict for the show. So
funny.
We're really, honestly, Beth and I are both wired to do the work that we're doing, and it's sort of meshed together. And we talk in episode, I think 1 or 2, maybe both, about how like our friendship evolved into being that, you know, and it really, the universe just showed up for us.
We literally couldn't have forecasted that this is what life would look like 13 years later. Oh my There's no way in hell I could have ever forecasted this.
I would have been like, yeah, right. I bet all my money, everything I own, that's not going to happen. Yeah. No way. Our mission to help other women and other people is so aligned and gives us life.
Our big mission as business women and friends, it's to help other women, and not just women, other people in general.
Yes.
So you can feel aligned, and you can feel like what you're doing like really gives life. You know, it does for us. My big why is something that really fires me up and gets me going. It's to help people live a bigger and better life than what they can even imagine.
And you've been living that and walking that like for so many years, as long as I can remember. Yeah. And I truly want to help other women and other human beings see their true self-worth. Like
Just
it
so
is
powerful.
So powerful. And it's really what I want to be doing.
And helping small business owners find their passion,
and
really not just like chasing the money or, you know, like really something that like lights your soul up every day.
Yes, 100%. And we want to have lives by design and inspire other women to do that for themselves as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On my Instagram page, and like this is the motto that I live by. Like, I am creating a life that I don't want to take a vacation from.
Yes, I love that so much. And it's true. Like, vacations are awesome and fun and great. We love adventures, but it's not to like sneak away from our everyday. Our everyday is great, right? And we truly want that for everyone. I want, when my daughter is 12 years old, to know herself and know that she's powerful. Like, so when we set this example, you know, running this business and empowering other women, I set this example for her. And me, that's...
I can't wait to see what kind of powerhouse that little Spitfire is going to be when she's 12, 15, 20. She's going to change the world.
I'm here for it, I think.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like Kristi and I addressed this a little bit earlier, but we do live totally different lives. But we're both totally very fulfilled where we're at in our lives, like today, May of 2021. Let's just chat about that a little bit more.
Yeah. So something, and to kind of like give you some props here, Beth, is something really cool that you, I think, do in your friendships, because I see it for our other friends, not just me, is you truly allow and celebrate your friends to be who they are, and you're there. Well, it's really cool though, because you show up for them at whatever capacity they're in. So like, here's the deal. I have a toddler who's 2, who's like nursing, you know, to nap while we're getting ready for the podcast. And like, my life is totally different. Like, I'm at home with my daughter, and the most days I'm with her, and I'm operating my small business from my house. And Ryan and I, you know, we have like a totally different life. But you're out selling houses and maybe going to some happy hours and that kind of thing while I'm like trying to put my baby to bed. But so the mutual respect there, and how you can just hold that space and be like, that's her life. You know, this is your life, and that's okay.
And so one thing that I just thought about like years and years ago is I do have friends from all different walks of life and all different stages of life. And if my option is only hanging out with people that are dual income, no kids, my life is going to be super one-dimensional. Don't get me wrong, friends, dual income, no kids. We have a great time. Yeah. But I want my life to feel so much more layered and rich with just people that have a different vantage point. You're looking at life through a different lens than I am. And how one-dimensional would my life be if I was only looking through my lens?
It totally makes sense. Yeah. And it's a really cool thing, because again, I think our friendship is unique in that way, but I also think you hold that space for many of your friends, which is really cool. It's really cool.
Thank you for acknowledging that.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, we both have different strengths too, like as far as our backgrounds work-wise, like
Absolutely.
totally different strengths that we're bringing to the table, and they work together. So like recognizing the strengths that we have, like delegating, tasks that make sense for each of us, and then also like knowing that our skill sets are unique.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, everything, I feel like coming to the table for the BPR brand, for the real estate team, I'm not a micromanager.
Nope.
I'm a founder of the team, but I'm not interested in micromanaging. Like I want people to be on the team because they want to be on the team and they want to sit at the table and we can all grow and learn and be better versions of ourselves. And I'm here to cheer you on. Like I want uniqueness on the team. I want to be able to learn from you and you to learn from me. And doesn't that create such a better place to be every day?
Well, it absolutely does. And I am with you on that. And instead of this like hierarchy kind of thing, it's more like you cast this net like really wide and include everyone. So I'm just going to say it. Our team is super unique. Like it's not this like authoritative thing and then it comes down the chain. Everyone kind of shows up at the capacity, like how they are, brings their unique skill set, and we work together really, really well. And it's a really cool place to be. Like we are so fortunate to be on this team, but also when we expand the team, like that's a little bit terrifying because the dynamic
we don't want to mess with the good vibes we've got going.
No, we don't. And so far we're doing great.
Right. That's an actual concern of mine.
Oh, it's a concern of mine too. Being on the team though, because everyone on the team is really holds their place, which is great.
Absolutely.
And we need, when we do decide to add to the team, we need people that can do the same.
Right.
So it's a unique team to be on in a unique space for someone to sort of find, seat at, a table to find a seat at. So I love that. I can't be micromanaged. Ryan jokes around with me and says, if you ever had a boss, like you would be fired like the day of. You'd last like 2 days. And I'm like, all right, asshole.
Thanks, husband.
Yeah. He says it in the most loving way. And he's absolutely right. Like if I can't do it, I literally can't do it. So it's a really cool place where we can all kind of show up together and work together.
Well, right. And then we thought, well, let's get super crazy and throw a podcast in the mix. Why the hell not? Like, let's just really ratchet up our insanity level.
Yeah, right. So I think one of the neat things about our relationship, Beth, is you could be on a coaching call with me and then hop on a coaching call with you afterwards. And everything is going to be very aligned in the mission and like kind of what we come up with at the end and like where you're going. But the calls are going to be so different.
Yeah.
Which is so cool because we've seen this. We see this on our team calls a lot too. Like we absolutely are aligned and our missions are the same in like helping other women. But it's going to look totally different. So it gives people these like totally different skill sets and then they can mesh it together.
Yeah. I mean, I fully believe you got to meet someone where they're at.
Yes.
And do your best to like cultivate them to be the best version of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yes.
I feel like you and I have always been able to do that for each other. And if we can do that for the rest of the team, like how special and awesome is our team going to be?
Our team is amazing and it's only going to get better.
It's just going to get
better.
Well, so what does our future hold?
Wow. Hopefully those painkiller drinks. Hopefully our future holds those.
I'll get the ingredients and I'll make them for you. You'll love them.
It sounds amazing. Well, so we have shared visions, missions, and plans to what we think it's going to look like as it evolves and as it goes, right? Mm-hmm. So another really cool thing is we're open to like evolution.
Yeah.
And so we go back to the procrastination and then like me wanting the plan kind of thing, right? Like, and this is where like I am so 100% okay with like seeing where this takes us. And this is going to go a little bit woo-woo, but like the universe has shown up for us. It's going to continue to show up as long as we operate in alignment. It's going to. And I truly believe that for you too. So take that as, if you think that's garbage or not, like I absolutely think it's what's helping us. And I know doors are going to keep opening because of it.
They just magically keep happening.
They do, which is really cool.
We always keep saying like how magical that is and how cool it is that everything has just fallen into place perfectly with all of the goals and dreams that we've had for like this working relationship. And I don't think that we would be upset if a roadblock showed up in our way. I think that, I mean, you and I are mature enough to handle that.
Yeah,
and
for
that
sure.
that wouldn't derail us in any form or fashion. But it's so awesome to see that hasn't happened, and it's just like, yep, this is the door you're supposed to go through. It just magically opened. Oh, and the next one,
It's when you're operating in alignment.
Yeah,
in your
it's
life
so freaking
and
cool.
business, right? When they're both, so it's huge. And a roadblock would just mean that's not the right way, right? Or it's not the right time. So,
but
like,
roadblocks derail people so often.
They do. They really do. I mean, I've been derailed by them in the past.
I have too.
Yeah. So, if you're having thoughts about going into a business relationship with a friend, what would you say to them, Beth?
I would say you got to be able to have deep, hard conversations. You have to really like have a hard conversation about like what it's going to look like, just so that everybody's expectations are met. But it is totally possible. Don't just like, oh, we're friends, so we don't want to risk our friendship. Like, it's totally possible. It doesn't work for everybody, but we are proof that like this works, and it can work, and it is totally possible.
So with that, we should add that Beth and I made a choice when we started this journey that our friendship would always be number one. And you might be thinking like, oh, whatever. But it's true. We've had this conversation so many times. And before we started anything, that was very clear for both of us. And we decided if anything we were doing would risk that, we would call it quits no matter where we were at in the journey.
Yeah. Like no questions asked.
No questions asked. So that, and when there's like money involved and success and all that, that'd be really hard. But honestly, we haven't wavered on that at all.
No.
Yeah. And that's what's led us here.
Yeah. I love that.
So what
it was a fun episode.
That was a fun episode.
I like this one.
I'm still
I like them all, but this one was fun.
This one was fun.
Yeah.
So what could we say right now if you are questioning whether or not to work with a friend or to go into business with a friend?
I would say plan a happy hour at a random restaurant like we did and just go do a deep dive conversation.
Yeah.
It's not worth losing a friendship over.
It's not.
So you have to set the expectations and like, what's a hard pass for you? What's a hard pass for that other person? And it might not work. But you're not going to know until you have that conversation.
No, and I think also recognizing where you're at in life.
Right.
And like your inner workings and the work you've done there and how you're going to show up.
And how and how you potentially suspect that other person's going to show up. Hopefully they're feeling the same way about you. I mean, like you have to be in alignment on this.
Yes, you do. You do.
Yeah.
Okay, friend.
Friend / business owner / badass boss babe mama.
All right, Bus Bench babes. So until next time, remember to keep your face off a bus bench and keep celebrating the badass boss babe that you are. Okay, girls, are you feeling as inspired as we are? We're over here cheering you on because you just finished another episode of the Girl Get Your Face Off a Bus Bench podcast.
If you want more, head over to girlgetyourfaceoffabusbench.com for show notes and more episodes. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. They mean the world to us, and they're what keep us going.
Girl, thanks for being here.